What's up, y'all? How's everybody feeling tonight? We got a good day today, man. Hopefully, I can help some people put some size on some of the information I got. All right. Let's see. I'll give y'all a couple more minutes to get in here. Right. Y'all ready? Let's go. Okay. Hey, Gerald Draymond, I see your comment. So I see you said you sprained your left wrist while doing the 300 pull-ups, and now your wrist is kind of messed up, wherever that's. So two things. As far as your wrist is concerned, just let it recover, let it heal. You could put ice on it. If you sprained it, just put ice on it and wrap it and just leave it alone, let it recover. But the second thing is, if you ever are going to get busy like that and be doing a lot of things that require like your wrist or your joints, go ahead and get some straps or get those hooks. You know what I'm saying? Get those hooks that if you're going to be putting them on the bar, let the hook hold you, and then your wrist can kind of just relax inside of the strap that's around it. And the hook normally is like metal. So if you do that and you're gonna be getting busy, just that way it'll take some of that pressure off of your wrist. So going forward, invest in those things. And you probably could find some of those on Amazon. They either got the ones with the metal hook on them or just get the straps. The straps are cool too, but it's kind of complicated if you tie yourself, to the pull-up bar. I could do it, but I don't know if you want to sit there and be strapping your wrist around your fingers around the pull-up bar to hold you up. But those help a lot too, especially if you're gonna be doing a lot of reps. All right, Tyrus, what up? What up? What up? How you feeling? All right, so tonight let's chop it up. All right, so the ways to make your workout more efficient. And the reason I wanted to make this, I was in the gym earlier today and I started looking around, and I always commend people who go to the gym and exercise. Like, if you go to the gym, like that's the first step. That's great. You know what I mean? Like, just being in there says that you want it. You know what I mean? But a lot of times though, you're not doing all the right things. Not doing all the right things. You may not know you're not doing all the right things. For example, let's say you have the will to work out and you want to get in there, you want to work out, but you don't really know where to start. You don't know what kind of body type of exercise you want to do. You just kind of just I just want to do something. I know I can. How do I get started? What do I jump into? There's so many different things to jump into. Like, it's not easy just going to the gym. It's intimidating because there's 50 million different types of exercises to do. You know what I mean? There's so many different workout plans and so many routines. You start thinking when you see one routine, oh, all of a sudden I'm gonna turn into a mass monster, and it doesn't work like that. You know what I'm saying? Or you see a routine, you think that it's going to transform you into looking like some supermodel, and it doesn't work like that. And so sometimes, like, yes, our naivety is great for us for when we're going to the gym because we can, just be optimistic. But at the same time, you got to be rational and you got to be realistic about what it is that you actually want to look like, your goals, and how things work. You don't want to be going on Instagram or on TikTok or YouTube or Facebook scrolling through trying to see, oh, okay, what workout am I going to do today? What's the new workout for the week? Who's doing what? Should I do this today? Should I do that today? Like, that's not it. Like, you can't do that. You can't do that. Like, yes, we commend you for having that desire and that drive to want to exercise, but that though can't do that. Like, you can't be shopping around. You can't window shopping. It's like eating a different type of dinner every night. You know what I mean? Like, well, tonight I'm gonna have this. Tonight I'm gonna have this, and tonight I'm gonna have this. Like, yeah, we get it, but at the same point, like, you can't keep going out to eat every night. Like, you got to start making some of that stable home meals. You know what I'm saying? Like, let the fast food be spontaneous, but you can't always switch it up every time. You know what I mean? Like, you got to have some type of consistency because your body has to get used to that thing that's consistent, right? So check me out. All right. First thing is, and everybody in the comments, please ask all your questions because this is going to be brief. So that's great because as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to answer everybody's questions. All right. So don't even worry. If you got something you want to talk about, put it in there and I'll get to it. You know what I'm saying? I see everything. I got y'all. All right. So the first thing is you got to have a plan that makes sense, right? it has to be realistic so that you can stick to it permanently. And a lot of times we think about a plan and say, okay, I'm gonna do this for 3 months. This is a 6-month plan. I'm gonna do this for 2 weeks and see what happens. You gotta sit that thing in front of you like you're gonna do it for the rest. If you're not gonna do that for the rest of your life, don't even start. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta say, okay, I'm gonna do this plan right here. I'm gonna do this thing forever. And the only way I'm gonna get out of doing this plan is if something drastic happens and I'm really not seeing no results after a long period of time. But you gotta put the work in. You can't be one of them start and stop type people. You know what I mean? You start some junk and then you stop. Start some junk and you stop. Like you gotta see this thing through. And sometimes you don't know when seeing it through is. You want to know when seeing it through is? Try at least a year. You feel me? Say a year first. So that's permanent. Like do it permanently and don't take your foot off the gas and do that thing. And then let that become what works for you. Now, if you know it's I'm gonna just do cardio for 1 year and see what happens. Like, come on, smack yourself because you know cardio isn't gonna do nothing for you. But if you've put together a formulated plan and you know that you're gonna try this for a second, stick to that thing for a second. You see what I'm saying? Stay with it for a while. And if you come up with a plan that you know you're gonna stick with permanently, what you'll do is you'll start to revolve your real life schedule around that plan. You see what I'm saying? So, like, for example, if you know what you're trying to accomplish is going to the gym 3 days a week and doing chest, shoulders, triceps, legs, abs, back, biceps 3 days a week, right? So okay, I'm gonna formulate my if you're in school, you're gonna formulate your class schedule around that. Because your leg day, you gotta eat a certain way. You know what I mean? So you can't just put your leg day anywhere. Like you can't do that willy-nilly. And then like your personality might not allow you to be the type of person to work legs on a Friday because it's like, oh, it's the end of the week. I did this, now I'm tired. You gotta put them legs Monday morning. You see what I'm saying? You gotta put them things like you gotta get them things out the way early. Like you gotta put them early right in front of your face so that they're done. And so just certain things you gotta revolve your schedule around what your style is, what your personality is like, and then make your week say, okay, I'm gonna do this day, I'm gonna do this day. Like I got it written on my refrigerator because I got a bad memory. You know what I mean? So sometimes I gotta write stuff down. And so my refrigerator for what my plan is, so that if I leave out the house and I go to the gym, I say, oh, okay, yeah, let me go back to this and this because that worked good for me when I was consistent, or this worked good for me when I did X, Y, and Z. Right. So keep that in mind. Like you got to have something that's gonna be permanent that you can do for the rest of your life. Because if you treat it like that, then you're gonna fall in love with it, and you got to fall in love with it. All right. The second thing is you have to have. Listen, y'all listen to this one good because this can change your life. Okay, this really can change your life. Like I'm starting to realize that it ain't so much. Like it really ain't much in the gym. Like we're all doing the same stuff, but there's a reason some people are better looking or better like built than others. Like there's a reason that some people have seen change. I'm gonna tell you what it is, right? It's not the exercise, it's not the diet, it's not all the other stuff. Because you can look beautiful at any shape, size, or form, but it's that sculpture, right? The problem is that y'all don't have any intensity or focus when you work out. And like, you'll be like, you'll hear people say, oh, put your phone down, X, Y, and Z. It's not necessarily about putting your phone down. And it's not necessarily about, what's going on. I think at some point you have to understand that like exercise, it's a mental thing. So you kind of got to become very relaxed and in the zone. And when you zone out, you can't let nothing get in your zone. Let's say, for example, you was taking a test, and you in a room, and they say, hey, you got to take this test. You got to be done in 45 minutes. It's your exam, X, Y, and Z. You're gonna either pass or fail. You see what I'm saying? You got to treat it like that, like you taking your SATs. And so if you go in there and you in the gym, and it's like, okay, let me do this. Let me get this work done. So I can get up out of here and make sure that I do everything perfectly right, so that when I leave out of here, no stone was left unturned. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to work your legs and say, oh, I probably could have done more. I probably could have did better on that one. You know what I mean? Or I didn't give it my all in that last set. Like my memory is so bad, for real. Like when I get into the zone, I might do 5, 6, 7 sets of 20 or something because I forgot that I was only supposed to do 4. But my thing is, though, that's good because it's only going to help me. You know what I mean? Like I was doing legs today, and I was like, dang, how many did I do on my hamstrings? Because hamstrings, I think I told y'all guys, that's one of the things that I kind of want to, build more of. and I was working my hamstrings in there, and I don't know if I did 5 sets of 20 or if I did 6 sets. I was just like, you know what? Let me just do another one, bump it. You know what I mean? Because I was already like, I was tunnel vision. And so when you get tunnel vision, you'll check your phone, like you'll get your phone, whatever like that, and you'll look at something. And I was checking the charts, like I was seeing what Litecoin was doing, if it was making any moves at the time. I checked Instagram real fast. Like it wasn't that, I'm not saying don't be on your phone. I changed the song, like something was playing, it was trash. I changed the song real quick, right? But then I got back busy again. And so because of that, like, I'll never if I lose track, I'll never undershoot what last set or rep I was on. Now, some of y'all, if you want to be very efficient, bring a book with you so that you can track your things, right? Bring a book with you so that you can track everything you do, write everything you do down. You're eating, your whatever makes you gain or lose weight. If you start documenting everything, that'd be highly, effective for you to then go on later on and say, okay, this worked for me last time. But as far as the one thing that I don't really care for personally is when you use a weight as a metric. You know what I'm saying? So what I mean is, like, if you go in there and you knew last week you bench press, or let's just say bench press. Let's say you was bench pressing and you did you high rep in 20 sets of 135 or something like that. 20 reps to 135. Let's say you're going hard like that, right? If you go to the gym next time and you're like, oh well, you know what? I'm just gonna do, instead of 135, I'm gonna do 145 and just move up incrementally. Like that to me, like it's improvement, but go hard, like see what you can do, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so sometimes, like, I might be feeling better on certain days than I am on other days. Like some days I might be like, you know what, like I'm feeling like a monster right now, like something, that man is in me, like let me go ahead and go hard and get whatever this juice is that's flowing in me, let me use it now because I know it's going to help me out, you know what I mean? And some days I'm like, yeah, I'm a little sluggish, but I'm gonna still do the work regardless. Okay, fair. But I'm never gonna give it a 70% in the gym. Like what am I there for? If I'm gonna give it 70% in the gym, why did I go work out? I just wasted my time being in. I could have been doing anything. I could have been sitting on the toilet. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in the gym working out so I could look like something, so I could leave out of here looking magnificent. Like, why waste my time on doing a little bit of a workout? Like, come on, go hard. You feel me? Like, don't home, but maximum effort is gonna, and intensity through your exercise and zoning out is what's gonna take that frame to the next level. Because if you do it and you kind of just lackadaisical when you're in the gym, you're not gonna make any accomplishments. You see what I'm saying? And so, yeah, you can write stuff down, but it's more about that intensity when you are working out. Like, are you squeezing on every rep? Are you making that contraction on every single motion? Like, does every single rep count? Like, if the rep didn't count, do it again at the end just because. Like, if your number was 20 and you knew you messed up on one, then you got to do 21, maybe even 22, just to get back what you lost. You see what I'm saying? So you got to be that mentally, like, crazy about your working out just so that you can see that shape. And that's what it is. When you see somebody with a crazy shape, it's that they're kind of crazy. So you got to be like that too. All right. So the third thing is your food and your eating habits. You do, like, eating is important. It's important. Like, I know everybody's like, oh, what should I eat? Blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing, like, figure it out later. Y'all figure that out on your own. Like, this ain't gonna be no eating subject. But what I do want to say is you have to eat before and after your workouts. And take your supplements, right, consistently. Like, do it for 30 days. Like, it takes time for that stuff to start kicking in. So don't think that it's going to kick in on day 3 if you're inconsistent. And still take your supplements on the days that you're not working out. So if you're like, oh, okay, I took my supplement today, that was my day I was building. Like, don't take the stuff that you need before a workout, like beta-alanine. Like, you don't got to take that before. You don't have to take, like, but you can still take your glutamine on your off days. You can take your creatine on your off days. You can take your, whatever supplements you're taking, take those still on your off days too. Like, let your body still have those in them. Don't think that you got to get off them because you're not in the gym. So stay on that stuff. And the third thing is drink your water. Like, drink water. You got to drink water. I don't know how y'all don't understand that your muscle is made up of water. Like, when people say creatine makes your muscles be able to hold on to more water so that they can look even bigger. So if you know that there's something that helps that, whatever's naturally in your body needs more water already. You see what I'm saying? So you might not even be as big as you're supposed to be because you don't have water right now, like today. You know what I'm saying? So be on top of that. Like, don't Like you might, and if you, here's the thing, like people be like, oh, for this type of person, you need to drink 8 bottles of water a day. Like you might be a big dude, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not no, like you might be twice the man somebody is. So if you twice the man that the doctors wrote about, you need to be drinking twice the water. You see what I'm saying? Like same thing, with y'all who are really trying to put on that size and eating like that. Like if you're gonna be eating and putting that weight on your body, and making sure you're eating before and after your workouts, like right before you go in the gym, you need to eat. Right after you leave out the gym, you need to eat, have some in your system, put it back in you because you just tore that muscle down. You got to refeed it again. So eat fast. You see what I'm saying? Have something on you, rice cakes, whatever, like an apple sitting in the car. Like have something back on you so that you can really keep cranking out that metabolism. But you got to have water too because you don't want to get constipated. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to be eating all that food and then like, oh, I'm eating, but and I'm drinking my little whatever, right? And getting backed up and not really flowing. Like you got to make sure that you're eating the right things. And have that balance. If you're going to eat something that is thick and dense, make sure you have those vegetables that can break it down so that it can come back out of your body. You see what I'm saying? Don't just be like, oh, I had, protein. You know what I mean? Like you better have some spinach so that thing comes back about you. You know what I mean? Otherwise you're gonna be looking crazy, getting all types of problems. So keep that in mind too. And your water is very important though, because water is very important. And don't forget to take your your supplements. The fourth thing was eat digestible foods too as well. That's the fourth thing with your food thing, but that goes in concurrence with the other one. So as long as you're eating foods that are digestible and not having things that are like protein powders all the time, like some people like to live on that protein, like, and that's wild. You feel me? Like I know back in the day I used to mess with some of those mass builders and some of that protein stuff, but to live on it, okay, I'm gonna have a meal here, a protein shake. Meal here, protein shake. Whoa, hey, do that. Like that's too many. Like a protein shake here and there, okay. Like give me one of them here and there because it tastes good. I need one today. I haven't had one in a week or so. But if you like living on it and that's part of your routine, like your protein shake is part of your daily, thing, you got to reconsider. Eat some real food. Try to get in real digestible foods anyway, because remember, that protein stuff and that powder, the way it's powdery like that now, once it gets back into your kidneys, it'll harden back up again. And so it's very hard to pass that protein stuff, depending on how dense it is. And then, like when they make them in the warehouses, sometimes they got a lot of metals in them and stuff like that. So there's been times where you've had to like run like a magnet on top of that stuff. And sometimes it just sucks out some of the little metals and stuff that are inside of those things. So I'm not really a big fan of having protein shakes like that anymore, just based on ingredients and, where they come from. Sometimes you can find a great one, but if you can, eat real foods. You know what I'm saying? That's made way more beneficial because God put your body here to digest real foods. Jehovah didn't make your body so that you could drink protein shakes all day long. You know what I mean? So it's like, make sure that you're having what you're supposed to have, and make sure you're having stuff that your body can handle, not something that your body that's manufactured and then has to break down. Also, if you can help it, be more specific about your water as well. Like I'm a big fan of drinking fluoride-free water. You can do your own research on that, but my water is very, as much as I can help it, I try to get quality water too. So do that too. Keep that in your mind as well, okay? Because it might just be something in your water that's messing you up, or y'all are having too many artificial sweeteners with your coffee and just little weird stuff like that can throw off everything, throw off your pH and just whatever. So kind of try to keep that stuff together, right? Now, the last thing is only do exercises that work for your body and be willing to explore new machines. And here's the thing. A lot of y'all, you get stuck in your ways. I get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you like doing the same thing. I get it. Like, okay, that's your style. Like you do that and that's your thing. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times though, there's that one exercise somewhere, or there's a machine at this one particular gym that you can't get to that often, that has that thing that you really need that you can't find. Boy, you got to go over there. You got that pullover machine. One of them, you got to go find that. You know what I'm saying? Like if that's what works for your body, you gotta abuse those things, because what happens is everybody's body responds differently to different things. Sometimes Like, but when you this is when you nice. When you find a combination of what worked for this and what worked for this and work for this, and you know your body's responding. Oh shoot, this gets my shoulders big. Oh, this gets my back round, like round that way, not round, not wide, but round the back way. Give me that turtle shell. You know what I'm saying? This makes my waist look super small. This makes my quads flare. This exercise right here, like you can't find those exercises everywhere. You gotta mix and match. That's a puzzle. You feel me? But when you can put that puzzle together, what? What? You know what I mean? Like you can do damage, yo. So keep that in mind. Don't be scared to try stuff. And sometimes you don't know what your thing is because you've been so stuck on doing the one thing in your little gym that's all you got, and you've been doing it for years. Yeah, we get it. You know what I'm saying? Like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But it might be something better out there too. It might be like the grass might be greener on the other side. Yeah, okay, your grass is green. We get it. You know what I mean? But that thing might be even brighter green, like treat it, on the other side. So keep that in mind. Go test stuff out. Like play with something. Take an extra day during the week and be like, you know what? I'm gonna go just play with some exercise and see what's going on. Like one of them days where you are feeling lazy and you're not really in the mood to go to the gym, use that night to try some wild stuff that you would never do. Look at one of the machines that you know good and well you would never touch. Oh, that's a chick machine. She do that. Oh, that's this machine. I only see little dudes doing this. That ain't not. Go try it then and do 100 and see what happens. You feel me? Like that might be yours. And then once that's your machine, everybody was thinking the same thing. I ain't doing that machine. I ain't doing that machine. But guess what? The ones that nobody's touching, those are the monsters. Those are the ones that give you that gift. You feel me? Because it's things in your body that you haven't experienced before because nobody ever uses it like that. Or it's an exercise that you never do. Today I did stationary lunges with my foot up against the back wall though, right? So normally you do stationary lunges and you kind of just balance whatever. Put my back foot up against the back wall so that I can make sure that I was focusing on this quad when I was going down. Like I wasn't sitting there trying to balance it because if I start trying to balance, I'm focusing on balance. And if I take balance out because I put my back foot on the wall, now I'm getting busy because all I'm doing is just focusing on quad. We just quad at this point. You see what I'm saying? So now I'm doing 20 reps, quads, holding dumbbells, and I'm doing back and forth 5 sets of 20. You feel me? But I never do this exercise. And I said, you know what, today, let me see what I could do to really beat my quads down because I want to get some abuse on them. You know what I mean? So that's what I did. Try that. Try something new. Like I never do those things. I don't even tell people who my clients do those exercises. But if it's one of those things where you know it worked for you and maybe it didn't work for me, we're gonna find out tonight if I'm sore, right? We're gonna see. So if it is, it worked. If it didn't work, then I'll come back next week like, hey, listen, remember the exercise I told you about? Trash, right? But you can still try. Anyway, I hope y'all learned something. Let me go through these comments real fast. Hey, y'all were talkative tonight, man. Nobody came here last week. I was talking to myself. Now I got 50 comments in here. That's what they say. All right, what you got? You said Tyrus, is a traditional bulk or lean bulk better? What is the difference? You got to give me some more clarity on what you mean by a traditional or lean. Do you mean traditional by like eating dirty foods and junk food and then trying to shave the fat off and blowing your lines and then having like loose skin later on and your chest is saggy and your stomach saggy because you got fat for no reason? You mean bulking like that and then trying to lose weight? Or you mean like eating more of what you already eat that's clean anyway and then putting on size? So I don't know. Claire, help me out with that one and then let me know what you mean. You said, David, can you build muscle with resistance bands? Absolutely. Yes. But the problem with the only thing with resistance bands though is that, well, you got to rep. And when you rep, you also got to make sure that you rep to get sore. So your numbers are always going to be forever changing because resistance bands, like the weight stays the same. So you end up getting more endurance than anything. But with that endurance, what you end up having to do is you have to make sure that you always work until you get sore. Like if 1 week it only took you this to get sore, that next week it might take you more to get sore. So then you got to get sore again and you got to eat accordingly. So I'm not a big fan of using only resistance bands because like you can max out too fast. But if you want to start off a certain way, it's cool. But after a while, it's like, even if you do push-ups 2 days in a row, like it's not the same as if you do push-ups and you do it one day and then break it up for 3 days and then do it again. You see what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things where like it can work, but listen, man, it's 2020. This is 2022, 2021. Like you can find something else to do. You don't gotta use resistance bands. Like there's other things to do. Like you can go somewhere. You could go outside. You feel me? Like there's better stuff to do than just have to stick to that. Like get you a pull-up bar, or just go to the gym. Shoot, it's things. Everything's open. All right. Let me see what we got. David Molina, you said, are you strict on rest time between sets? Okay. So here we go. This is when you zoning out or you worry about something else. So like I'm not a stickler on, oh, I need to take my break. I need to rest time. Like I'll tell you what though, like when you are really clocked in and you're really like you work out for real, like your body is looking amazing. Sometimes you can't keep that same intensity, and so it looks like you being lazy. So that's not fair. Like if like some of y'all are really in shape, you know what I mean? Like, and if you really in shape like that and you take those breaks, it's like, yo, I needed that break. You know what I'm saying? Because I just clocked in. Like I just did my all with that last set. Like when you're doing your all on one set, like sometimes you need a moment. Like I gotta get my life together. So when you do that, take your time, but don't get to the point where it's like, I'm chilling and I gotta or don't be you don't gotta be a sergeant, you don't gotta be a military person. I gotta be back on the clock by this time. Like you don't gotta be that guy. Like it's not, you ain't there for that. You know what I'm saying? Like unless you gotta get to work or something like that. But for the most part though, get your composure, get your breath back together. And as soon as you can get your breathing back together, then get started again, because there's no point of doing the exercise while you're still winded, because you remember you gotta breathe into that muscle. So don't waste your time doing exercise and you holding your breath because you still burnt out from the last one. Like, catch your breath and then get back in there and start doing it again. So however long that takes you. Hopefully that helped you. What we got? Gerald Draymond, how many weeks do you recommend resting after a wrist sprain? Oh, I think I talked to you. So yeah, you gotta rest until it's not sore no more. You sprained your wrist. Like I said again, you sprained your wrist, wrap it, put ice on it, don't work it. And make sure that when you do work out again and you start doing those exercises where you're getting busy and using your wrist a lot, make sure you get wraps. Get the wraps that got the straps on them, so you can strap your the band around the bar, or get the one with the hook. Like get you the one with that strap on, you can just put the hooks up there. That way it takes the wrist out of the equation. If you got wrists like that, like just don't risk it no more. Like, okay, now we know it's just sprain. Thank God it ain't. Wrap it up. Like you're not no sucker because you use wrist wrap. You're not no sucker if you wear gloves. What is that? Who you is trash if you wear gloves in the gym? Now look, hold on. If you the guy that wears gloves and you cut your fingers out, you know what I'm saying? Okay, like you don't gotta do all that. But if you put on some work gloves and you in the gym get busy, okay, cool. Like nobody wants to have rough, nasty hands all the time. Like that's wild. I don't understand why people want callous hands. My feet are already crusty. Like why would I want to have crusty hands too? Like come on, you feel me? Like so, it's okay. Like you could wear gloves. You don't have to. You don't gotta think you're a sucker because you wear gloves. It's cool. All right. What you say, David Molina? Some of those protein shakes started to irritate your stomach. You had to click the pause button on it. Absolutely. So the dream. First time catching live. My guy, what's up? I'm glad you got to be here, man. And all right, I think I'm caught up. So listen, hopefully everybody enjoyed this. Hopefully y'all learned something today. I went way over time. This was supposed to be my fast live today, and then all of a sudden it turns into my long one. So I'm gonna get this one chopped up. Listen, follow me on Instagram at GetFitWithKB. If you ever have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and I'll try to make a video about them when I get to them. And I hope y'all learned something, man. Follow me, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.